episode 3542, Fear Not.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend, but today I want you to take a pause. And I want you to really think about what God has in store for your life, because I know you're not here by accident, my friend. Oh no, this is a divine appointment. Fear not. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says this, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." You know, in the midst of life's storms, it's not uncommon for us to feel overwhelmed and isolated. The weight of our struggles can often make us feel as though we're carrying the burden alone. No one's there to help us. We have to figure it out. There's very little, if any, support to lean on. I don't know where you are today, but God knows. And in Luke 24, verse 38, Jesus said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts rise in your minds?" My friend, do you really think God wants you to suffer? Now be honest with your answer when you think about it, because I know, honestly, we're not thinking about this. But we have doubts. We have fear. But God doesn't want us to fear the way we fear. And when you're honest with yourself, when you're honest with your emotions, I promise you, it's going to give you a sense of freedom. You don't want to hide things. You don't want to struggle in silence. In times like these, it can be challenging to rely on our faith and trust that God is watching over us. Why? Because all we see is the bad. It's too easy to remember that we're still in this mess. When are we ever going to get out of it? When do we catch a break? I know I was having a conversation with my husband a couple days ago, and we have been dealing with renovations that deal with water. Nothing that's happened recently with all the, weather issues and patterns and all of that. None of that. This has been happening 4 years ago. I kid you not. It's been a process. And it's taught me a lot of different things. Number one, I have to stay on top of it, because we are in a fallen world and humans make mistakes. And if I don't stay on top of it, no one's going to care about what I need. Okay, that's the number one. But number two was really, okay, God's got this all. Notice the order I put it in. And I'm being honest with you. Anyway, my husband was telling me something, and I was coming off of a pretty good, awesome day. And then he's like, "Oh, by the way, this isn't working." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I got kind of feisty with him. Not because of what he was telling me, but because what? There's another problem. Just one more thing. And all I could say to him was, all I want is one day without a worry, without a problem, without a struggle. Are you in that mess right now where you feel like you can't even barely get your nose above water? You're taking on way too much, not by choice, but just because you're here on this earth? In times like these, it is challenging to rely on our faith. Why? Because that's all we see is the bad. That's all we hear is the worry. That's all we hear and experience is that, there you go. We live in a fallen world. Smack in the face. Dodge here. Catch this curveball there. And then a lot of times we revert to our own vices to deal with the fear we're facing, the struggles. Some people go to, drowning their sorrows in alcohol or smoking their way up to I don't know where. Some of them go and gamble. Some of them go and who knows, maybe you just get on your IG reels. Maybe you're one who is addicted to shopping. You go and spend money. Maybe you just get mad and angry. And you're mad and angry at the world. So no matter what happens, you spite everybody. No one has a chance to win around you. But is that really what we need to be doing? Take heart, my friend, for you are not alone in your struggles. The Bible reminds us of God's unwavering presence and promise to be by our side through thick and thin. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. God's going to strengthen you. God's going to help you. God will uphold you with his righteous right hand. These are powerful words. And you need to take them to heart, knowing that God is always there, ready to provide for you with the strength and support you need to weather life's challenges. Psalm 23, verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. God walks beside you through your darkest moments, offering you comfort and guidance along the way. And I get it. When you're in the moment, you're like, well, then how is this feeling going to go away, Christiane? I can't answer that. Our feelings are fleeting. But God is ever eternal. He's the Alpha and the Omega. Fear may fill our world, but it does not need to fill your heart. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 says, God has not given us a spirit of fear. So why do we accept it? We need to lean on him a little bit more. We need to be honest with him in conversation with him. That means get on your knees. When was the last time you actually talked to God and said, Lord, where are you right now? Cry out to him. Let the waterworks happen. Get mad a little bit and say, Lord, I don't like where you put me. Open my eyes to see what you want me to see. Give me the strength to go beyond what my fears are showing me. Give me another feeling to grip onto. Leave it all at the cross. Don't take it with you to work. Don't take it with you when you go and tuck your kiddo into bed. Don't take it to the freezer when you're going for that half a pint of ice cream that you're going to eat in one spoonful. Notice I said a half a pint, not a half a gallon. There's a difference. It's important to remember that leaning on God doesn't mean we won't face difficulties or hardships, because it's called real life. Instead, it means placing our trust in him and knowing that regardless of our circumstances, God has already gone before us and has a plan for our lives. I want to paint this picture for you for a moment. I'm a football fanatic. You know that. I love great football games. And unfortunately, a few teams, maybe some of your favorite, kind of gone down. Maybe they lost yesterday. Tennessee and Alabama, beaten by unranked teams. Go figure. I mean, there are some fans just scratching their heads going, how is this even possible? You see, I think when we're in those situations of how is this even possible, you've got to remember that God says, hello, don't forget me over here. Sometimes we think we have to be undefeated to prove who we are. We need the accolades, the achievements, the accomplishments that say, yes, look at me. I am the superhero of the family. Don't forget me. But then we remember and we're taken to our knees. Why? Because life happens. And we fall short, just like Tennessee and Alabama did. Now, do you think they'll come back? Yeah. It's called a lesson learned. But you see, when you're in the midst of it right now, the day after, they're still probably licking their wounds a little bit because it stings. But fear not. You can rise still to the top, not because of your doing, but because of what God has already done. We can't just sit here and act like the number one football team, because guess what? You're going to be defeated by an unranked enemy that's going to come after you. Whether it's your boss, whether it's a stranger that's driving radically on the road, someone who's just mean at you and looks at you, someone who sends you a letter. Oh, I know. Yeah, they do still exist. You get letters in the mail. Maybe it's a family member who's just being ridiculously rude. Maybe it's your own children. Maybe your relationship is strained. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you don't even know who you see. You see, that's when we feel like we're undefeated, because we've been defeated by the enemy, whatever that enemy is, whether it's a person, place, thing, an attitude. But then I also think about the football player that comes on. You've got 11 players on the team, on one team, and 11 players on the other team. The ball is snapped from the center to the quarterback. And you've got the runner that's all the way out there, who all of a sudden comes out from the pile and runs 75 yards to a touchdown. Really? You see, that's having faith in God. When you come out from underneath the pile and run 75 yards. I'm not saying that particular instance, okay, on the field. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm using it as an analogy, so bear with me. But we are so buried underneath our fear, our woes. Oh, woe's me. Our medical diagnoses, our struggles, our troubles, our relationship failures, the weather, Hurricane Helene. I mean, let's just name them all. And all of a sudden, we have this pile amongst us, but then somehow, some way, you emerge from that pile and you run all the way to the edge of glory. You make a touchdown in a moment, not because of your doing, but because of God's presence. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or alone in your struggles, take comfort in knowing that God is always with you. Lean on his strength, trust in his plan, and know that you are never truly alone. You may feel like it, but you're not. So fear not, for you are loved. He calls you beloved, my friend. You're protected and guided by him. God will never leave you nor forsake you. As Max Lucado said, the promise of Christ is simple. We can fear less tomorrow than we do today. Oh, my friend, do life with God today. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed week. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.